They are young and not so young. They are poor and not quite poor. They have known hard times and desperation. They know good times and have bright futures. They are the reasons for TRIA.
I grew up in the poorest section of a poor town.
I've been in 2 foster homes, 3 homeless shelters.
I was born in Celaya, Guanajuato, Mexico, but I moved to the United States in 1989.
I grew up in a neighborhood which was one of the roughest areas in Chicago.
My mother left when I was 6 months old.
Neither of my parents went to college.
41 years of age. I have been married for 23 years. We have 8 children together.
When I talk about living in poverty, I talk about living in a home that had no bathroom, had no kitchen, had no running water, had no electricity.
Right out of high school, I joined the Montana Army National Guard. I went active duty Army for 3 years.
In our area, college was not an option because you can't afford it, and it's just so out of reach.
I have been in foster care for the majority of my life.
I am a sophomore at Waterloo East High School, raised by a single mom who's a drug dealer. Basically, school for me was a place where my mom sent her 4 children so that she could deal drugs during the day.
I was kicked out of the 7th grade because I had gotten involved in drugs.
My freshman year, 22% of the people who graduated went to college.
Veterans Upward Bound is a program they help you go from the military life into college.
I was a kid who got expelled from school for being a thief and an extortionist. You know, I was a kid who people wanted to see locked up.
College was never mentioned when I grew up.
The climate at that time was very rough. It was gangs, it was violence.
By age 11, I was sexually active, drinking and doing drugs myself. I looked about 14.
People in my neighborhood always told me, you'll be next. Next? Next to what? Next selling drugs, or next being the next person in jail?
My mother, only source of income, became very ill, suffered from serious health problems, and had a major back surgery, which led to very serious complications.
We basically lived off of checks month to month from SSI and welfare.
When the steel mills left in the late 1960s, so did the hopes and dreams of many people in Aliquippa. Talent Search first came to Aliquippa in 1992, and I was one of the fortunate 20 students that were selected to be one of the initial participants.
The program has made a huge impact on me. They gave me that self-motivation and support that I needed, that I was lacking from my parents.
Within the first few weeks, my chemistry professor told me about the Student Support Services program, that they would help me as I struggled to adjust to my college level courses.
It was one day I was in school. I heard students walking through the hallway saying, I'm going on a college tour. I'm going through college preparation. I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. I love to do that.
That same week that he was there, came to my home and talked to my father, and my father, I will never forget him looking at me and at Scott and saying, she's going to do this program because you can do what I couldn't do for her.
Even some of the social aspects of Upward Bound. You have lifelong friends. You meet them. You never know who you're sitting in the classroom with.
It's hard. It's frustrating. There is times where I was scared as an adult going back to college and never been there before. That's a big step. If it wasn't for EOC, I would not be there.
For me, Upward Bound was so much more than just a program that you go to on Saturdays. It was an opportunity for me to be encouraged, to be in a space where it was okay to be smart. It was okay to get good grades. It was okay to be encouraged and to encourage someone else.
My first semester in college, they tutored me through my Math 141 because I didn't even have a clue.
One day we went to Ohio University and we toured the campus, and I seen all these business opportunities, or all these opportunities I can make something of my life with.
What she showed me was that school should be my priority. She showed me something my foster parents couldn't give to me at that point, and that was encouragement, saying that I could make it. I would be the first person in my family to be able to graduate from college.
I had to work my hardest because everyone there pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. I almost cried because they pushed me so hard. And I hadn't felt anyone pushing me since my grandma had died. I thought that Upward Bound was my last hope, and they still are my hope.
I was the child that would have been left behind had it not been for the Upward Bound program. We need to have this program.
My graduating class this year almost has 80% of the people going to college, just with the help of the TRIO program.
Veterans Upward Bound helped me with my self-esteem. They helped me just feel good about myself.
I had gotten accepted to all the schools I applied to, and I was crying because I had to make a decision between Haverford College and University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. Who can imagine? Who can imagine?
Please, they make dreams come true no matter how old or how young you are.
I would not have been able to do what I'm doing if I didn't have the academics.
Mom, when are you going to be governor? And I say, oh boy, hon, I don't know, but if I don't make it, you will.
That program is my father.
I know I will achieve my goals because I have drive, desire, discipline, and I have all the resources SSS has provided for me.
Upward Bound basically turned the impossible into reality.
For many students in Aliquippa, TRIO is our lifeline to a better life.